It's something that's happening over the next couple of weeks, actually. Almost 11,000 people will have graduation ceremonies at the University of East Anglia. It's an extraordinary number, isn't it? And it's that large because it includes people who finished studying over the last couple of years. They couldn't have a proper graduation ceremony because of COVID. So let's talk to somebody who's going to be putting on a gown and hat for graduation. Tori Selwyn is about to become a junior doctor after studying at the University of East Anglia for the last 5 years. Tori, good morning.
Good morning, Chris. How are you?
I'm all right. How are you? Your student days are behind you then?
Yeah, no, it's very surreal. It's going to be a lot of long shifts and hard work, but, got to be ready to go.
Yes, and you've had some time off then to be able to go to the graduation, which is good. So talk me through it then. You must have been sort of in the middle of your course when we first went into lockdown.
Yeah, so I was about 2.5 years in. It was probably literally halfway through when everything happened. I remember I was on placement at the time in the hospital, and I remember sitting down for lunch with a friend, and I was like, I wonder when we're going to be told, don't come in anymore, because it seemed like things were getting, uncertain and no one knew what was going to happen. And then it was just like 2 days later during that weekend when we were told, don't come into the hospital. If you can make it home, go home, before transport gets too difficult. And then it was about 6 to 9 months of online learning, lectures, no time kind of on clinical placement, seeing patients, which was quite hard. But thankfully, the medical school tried to get us in as quickly as possible, back into the GPs, back into the hospitals, and patients were quite happy to have us around. I mean, we were testing lateral flows twice a week, and everyone was trying to be as COVID safe as possible. But yeah, it was hard, but most of us managed to still get through the other end, and we'll be graduating in a week's time.
Wow, so you've had the first half of your student life at the University of East Anglia was what we would have called sort of an old-fashioned normal student life, and then the second half was learning different ways of doing everything.
Yeah, no, exactly. It was particularly hard, I guess, for everyone that was doing extracurricular activities, people that wanted to socialise and make new friends. I think it was especially difficult for the first-year students, because first year is when you're just about finding your feet. You find people that you want to live with potentially for the rest of university. And with everything being online, people found it a lot more difficult to do that. And I think societies and clubs also, one of the biggest parts of university life. If you go to any uni in the UK, and UEA is one of the best universities for societies. And so again, it was a case of trying to put everything that we did into an online format and try and keep everyone as a community, even if we weren't together in person.
And you became quite involved with the mental health of students, didn't you, while you were there?
Yeah, so I was part of Educate UEA, which is a society that was created about 10 years ago by Norwich Medical School students, and I was lucky enough to become president, and I was president when everything went into lockdown, and, there was a lot of opportunities that did come out of lockdown. I mean, people's mental health was a lot more talked about. People suffered a lot more due to lockdown. So yeah, we created newer workshops and things that we could do that ended up reaching kind of across the UK. I guess that was one of the beautiful things about everyone being virtual, was because it meant that we could reach nationally, and even some of the talks and workshops that we ran for healthcare professionals reached all around the world, as far as Australia and the USA. So it showed the kind of impact that you can have, even if we're not that much of a big uni. But, we did loads and made a difference and reached loads of young people.
That's impressive. So you're about to graduate and move on to life as a junior doctor. You're going to be working in Stevenage, aren't you? Which means you're moving away from Norfolk. So leaving us behind after a spell here studying. How have you found it?
Yeah, no, I've absolutely loved Norwich and Norfolk in general. It's been beautiful that it's just a short drive away from the beach, and there's so much culture, so much history within the city. And so, if anyone was thinking of going to the uni, also the campus itself is absolutely beautiful. We've got so many places that you can go and enjoy. it's absolutely beautiful. I think it's bittersweet that I'm leaving. I've also had such a good time on placement. The doctors, the people that have taught us, their mentors that have taught me so much. And I hope that at some point I'll be able to come back and work more with the medical school, maybe do some of my training further down the line in Norfolk, because the people have been really great, and it will be sad to leave.
But you're graduating, and that must feel like such a special moment. And the fact you're actually going to get a proper ceremony as well.
Yeah. I mean, this will be my second graduation, because I did a first degree at University of Liverpool. But I think this is a lot more momentous and important moment, because I always kind of dreamed of being a doctor when I was growing up at school. And so this is, an accumulation of more than kind of 8 years of hopes and dreams and hard work, and it's just it's going to be an incredible moment, celebrated with my family, and just kind of say goodbye and farewell to all of the people that I've worked with over the 5 years, but hopefully stay in contact with some of them as well.
Well done for doing it, Tori. Brilliant. One of the thousands of people who will be officially graduating from the University of East Anglia over the next couple of weeks, 11,000 in all, because they are offering opportunities to have a proper ceremony for those people who didn't get them over the last couple of years because of COVID.
The sound of Norfolk. Chris Gorham at